So we're finally talking about a company that is producing COVID vaccines, right? So Moderna has been in the news a lot recently. I think the effectiveness rate of their vaccine is 94.1%, so a strong vaccine in terms of the data. And it's picking up a lot of traction, particularly in the US. And Moderna have recently announced that they forecast $18 billion of sales just from this vaccine in 2021. So I want to really look at these numbers, their finances, to say, is that going to be a huge success story for them, or does it mean something else? So Ted, good to speak with you again. What have you found out about this company?
Hi, Moeed. And yes, it's good to speak to you too. Absolutely. So Moderna, as ever, you're looking at the vaccine and I'm looking at the numbers. So let's go and have a look at them and see what this company looks like. So first of all, just to remind ourselves, look at the headings of the columns, and we're reading from right to left. So sometimes different people have, left to right, right to left. So 2017 on the right, up to 2019 on the left. Total revenue, you'll see, is here. Okay, and total revenue is reducing. Wow. Now, it's also worth bearing in mind that this company, these numbers are in thousands, not millions, which means that this, the sales in 2019 were $60 million. Right. So this is the company turning over $60 million that has just landed a contract, as you say, for about $18 billion. Okay, so this is game changing for this company. This completely changes. So what we are looking at is a kind of historical of what's been going on in this business, which in no way reflects the future. Okay, and it's as simple as that, because this company has the sales have been falling, it's been making losses, its losses have been going up through research and development. We can see that the costs coming in there. So the bottom line, the net loss, it's been making losses. Okay, and it's losing and it's losing and it's losing. And I have to admit, hats off to the investors for sticking by it, because I'm not sure I would have done. If we look at the balance sheet, we can see in terms of their cash, and we're going to take the top two lines together. So these two numbers, which is cash and investments will just be kind of where they've parked their cash. So the cash has dropped from whatever that is, about 1.3 billion down to just over 1.1 billion. So the cash is going down. This is effectively a company on its way out. And that's the best way to describe it. If we look at their actual physical cash flow, and we can see the cash, this is effectively their burn rate. So the net cash from operating activities is going in this direction here. They're burning $458 million a year, so $500 million a year. If they've got 1.1 billion in the bank, you can start to project that at some point they run out. Now, I don't know a huge amount about pharma, so it's not really kind of the space I kind of work in. But what I do know is that pharma, they spend a lot of time developing new drugs. Lots of those drugs don't work; they don't get to trials, and the ones that do work, they need to make money for the ones that don't work. And these guys are clearly developing lots of things which aren't working, so they need something to work. They need that golden nugget. It's a bit like panning for gold in the rivers of California. And these guys look like they haven't just found a little speck of gold, they found a socking great nugget. So suddenly their fortunes have absolutely turned. The question, I guess, for these guys is going to be whether they can turn that contract into clear profits going forward. So, we read a lot about companies saying they'll do the vax at cost, for example. On the other hand, and lots of companies have produced the vaccination. On the other hand, everybody's got to make some money. This is a capitalist society. So even a little margin on, 18 billion, even a small margin on 18 billion is going to cover these guys and set them in clover. So let's have a look at their share price, see what's going on. So once again, we've got a P ratio of 0, and we'd expect that because there is no E, because they're making big losses. The market cap is now about, just shy of 60 billion, which is effectively, it's all goodwill. I mean, this is a company with 1.2 billion in net assets. Most of that is cash. It's losing that cash, but they found that golden nugget, and how you value that, I don't know. There'll be analysts out there who projected about how much they're going to have and whether they're going to get repeat orders in the future and how much money, and is the vaccine going to be around forever, etc., etc. So don't ask me if this is a buy or not a buy. This is a, if I was to buy this, it would be a punt. It would be at the kind of the play end of my portfolio, not a core defensive hold, if that makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense. But certainly valuable to see the finances so that you have one part of that calculation equation, right? So you can see at least what does have to go right in terms of the amount that they sell, the market share, how effective it is, and for how long in order to justify that price. So that was hugely interesting. You can see that the price went up around the time when they published the findings for the phase 3 trials of the vaccine.
Yeah, so I mean, you're kind of looking at a company here where you just, I mean, the value and valuations are always forward looking, and the numbers I'm looking at always backward looking, and here you've got a company where you can't project, you can't base the future on the past. It's almost like it's just a clean sheet of paper. I mean, this company, they could close down everything and say, we're just doing the vaccine. What's the company worth?
Yeah. So I'd be interested to hear from any pharma experts who are watching this. If you can leave a comment below, tell me what do you think, right? Do you think the price is justified? What are the risks for Moderna, and how could that affect the price? So like, share, and subscribe. Ted, again, another fantastic video full of incredible insights and learning around how to raise your business acumen, how to read financial statements, whether you're trying to sell to Moderna or invest in them. This was hugely valuable. Ted, thank you so much.
Good to speak to you, Moeed. No worries.